The ship is under our control. We're mercenaries. We get paid to solve problems no one else wants to take up. Much like yourself, I imagine. Interesting. We'll talk. Here on board, where I have my crew to back me up. Be aware that if you try anything, we will not hesitate to fire on you. You may come aboard.
Dad, can I have a pet?
A pet? Really? Done completely.
Aw, come on, please. I need...
Hey now, that's close enough. Better think twice before starting trouble. What exactly do you want here? Yeah, and what do you have to say about it? We're getting paid to deliver it back to the trifle owner, and I don't think that's you.
I swear, it's like I said. That's Jade's ship. I was there when she bought it.
Hey, shut up and let the adults talk. Now, where were we before this interruption? We don't make mistakes. Our employer is very reputable. This ship matches the detailed description we got. We know we've got the right one. Look, it's possible there's more to this. Maybe someone else stole it, offloaded it, and your friend bought it. Sorry, but them's the breaks. We're doing our job here. So, unless you've got something else to propose, we'll be taking this ship in. Our employer will handle the pilot. They wish to remain anonymous. There's a reason they called us instead of SysDef. I'm not convinced this is a good idea. I guess they never have to know. Well, this is just another ship to my client. They can afford to take the loss on this one. I hear you. You know what? Fine. I'll tell our guy the ship's gone. We get paid either way. This ain't worth the trouble. Just be extra careful out there. If my client ever finds out the truth, we may meet again. And I won't be so cordial.
Well, that's settled at least. Hate having Ecliptic get more money in their pockets. But it's fair.
You can untie your pilot and let him take the damn ship. I'm done with this headache. You got guts coming here and doing
Thanks.
this.
I
respect
thought that was gonna be it for me.
Bullshit.
I can't believe you worked out that deal. Jane's gonna be happy to get her ship back. They said they'd been looking for this ship for months, ever since it was reported stolen. I don't know who it belonged to, but they clearly wanted it back bad enough to call Mercs, not SysDef. Must have had some way of tracking it. Followed me from Mars until we were nowhere near SysDef, I guess? Or just my own bad luck. Yeah, good call. I guess I'll stay here with these guys until their ship returns, and I'll meet you back at Jane's.
Everything looks exactly as we left it, right? Right.
Did
don't know about you.
something?
But a fella could do a lot worse than Constellation. Operation complete. Thrusters free.
Heard you helped us book that hangar.
Oh, pardon me. Right. No worries.
Be careful down near the mines, and enter any active sites that you
Galvin was robbed by the Shaw unit.
How's it?
Security in the the heart of the settled system. SSNN.
Iron deposit detected. Initiating administration protocols to remove mass from human body.
So, glad you're back. Everything. So, what happened? Who took it? Whoa, ecliptic? They're like hardcore mercenaries, right? Yikes. I guess I should consider myself lucky. Lesson learned. Next time, I'll buy from a reputable source. Anyway, I'm super glad you found my ship and saved Eric. It's more than I could have hoped. I'm glad I asked you instead of relying on Sistef. I never would. You've done me a real. Here's what I can afford to pay you. Thanks again.
I'm still a little shaken. I'll be fine. I hope. Hey, I aced all my training in flight school. They just left out the part about the pirates and other threats being so prevalent out there.
Consider this unit always on the job.
Keep a lookout. Notify us if you see anything suspicious.
I wish there were more kids like me around. The grown-ups are always so grumpy. Hi, I'm Renee, and I'm so bored. See? Now we're friends! Anyway, what do you want to talk about? It's okay, I guess. It's better than living outside, because Mars can't support life outside and I'd die. But maybe it would be nice to live on another planet someday. I think I used to, when I was a real little kid. And sometimes my mom and dad would take me to visit my grandma and grandpa in New Atlantis. I like to play with Taye sometimes. We come up with lots of games to play. Sometimes we listen to music or watch shows. But when he's not around, I like to draw. Sometimes I draw things and give them to people since they're so mopey all the time. It makes them smile. Actually, wanna help me? I just drew these great... It's Space Frog from outer space. And he's a little frog character that I made up. I've never seen a real frog before, but I've seen pictures. Anyway, he lives in space and goes around to different planets helping people who are sad or need help. He's great. My mom says it does. She says her work friends like my drawings because they make them smile. She says it's because there aren't many kids here, and lots of people miss having kids around. Or it reminds them of their families. You will? Thank you, thank you, thank you! People are gonna be so happy. Here's a bunch of copies of the Space Frog drawing I made. You can post them in places where you think people will see them. Thank you so much!
I don't think this place has changed in decades.
When I get older, I'm gonna work in the mines, like my dad did. So I can save up and buy my mom a house somewhere nice. I sure am glad you're helping me.
Some might see junk, but I see an opportunity.
Stay away from the Sixth Circle unless you're a miner. Or at least, don't come crying to me if anything.
Willin, what can I do you for? Hey, I heard a rumor. I could never leave these people behind. Their continued success is my life's work.
This is all a confirmation of the former commander's guilt. You're listening to the settled system.
Almost break time.
How cool is it going to be to see space? Hi! Thanks for doing that for... I know, right? Last time, I only hope these drawings stay up longer this time.
have so much to do. Time for sleep.
Their soul, our first son. No matter how many star systems I visit, always feels like home.
Careful near the railings on the upper level.
Before you say anything, no. Mars is not.
Hey! Haven't seen you around here before. Did you just move in? Ooh, tough and mysterious. There's certainly no shortage of your type around here. Anyway, I know this place can be a little unfriendly, so I'm just doing my part to help. Name's Mitch. I'm just a guy who lives here in the Lux condos. I'm always looking to make new friends. People say I can be a bit much sometimes. I love having people to hang out with and watch movies, talk about books, play games, or whatever. Potential employers, you say? Well, you are in luck. It may not look like it, but I am a potential employer. Well, more accurately, I need someone with a ship to help me out with a favor, and I'm willing to pay. But if you're not interested or don't have a ship, that's cool too. What's that supposed to mean? But just because I look like I couldn't bench press a stick of raw spaghetti, I don't fit in here? Nah, just kidding. I got some issues that prevent me from working, and modern medicine could only help so much. I was offered an experimental treatment, and unfortunately, instead of getting cool superpowers, I got more medical conditions. But it's okay. They offered me this condo and set me up with enough money to get by without working. I live pretty well, all things considered. Bored? Are you kidding me? I got more entertainment at my fingertips than I'll ever finish, even if it takes forever to get to Sidonia. I don't think I'll ever be bored, and I'm certainly not going to waste my life working if I don't have to. I try not to let it get me down. Right now, I may have been dealt a shit hand of cards. Yeah, thanks. Nothing new. Oh, wait. I saw a movie about this. Oh, you do? I found out recently that my favorite book series, Dragonstar Force, had a very limited initial run. I really want to collect all the first editions, but I already tracked down Volume 1. Could you go buy it and bring it back here for me? They're these old science fiction fantasy books. Now, there's this team of heroes who fight space wizards. Don't worry, you'll get your money as long as you bring...
It is illegal to transport plants or animals.
Atlantis is the shining beacon of humanity these days, so they say. I'd argue that the beacon of humanity should be... called survival. That is convenient, but riding right after eating can give you stomach aches.
If there's a thing about the trade business, be my guest. Be my guest. The Trade Authority appreciates your visit.
Hey there. Private sector.
To keep Sigonia moving.
Space frog from outer space. Look at the smile on your face. Visits all the planets and all the stars. Right now, he's on board.
Oh, did you find the book, Dragon Star Force Volume 1, The Heroes of the Dragon Star? I don't know. Yeah, of course. No I think you may be right. Okay. I guess I don't need my old non-first edition copy of the book anymore.
Hey, I
haven't seen you around here. Best not be looking for trouble, right? I've seen some karate videos. Hey, who are you? Nice to meet you. I hope you like it more than I do here. I'm Tae. I live here in the condos. Sorry, I don't usually talk to strangers in Taya. I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about lots of different things right now. I don't really know what to say. I don't know. I guess we just make up some games? Usually I just hang out and talk with Renee since she's close to how old I am. Sometimes we go to the community center and they have stuff to do there. Like crafts, movies, music, and other activities. But except not when the adults are having a meeting. Renee calls them sad meetings because everyone seems so sad in them. I asked my mom what they were, but she says it was something to do with drinking. And like, I've never gotten sad after drinking water, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm just worried about my mom. She gets sad all the time, and I just want to help her. She's been that way since my dad died. Only, she doesn't like me talking about it to other people, so I probably shouldn't. But you know what? Maybe you should talk to her? She says she doesn't get to talk to too many other adults much. Maybe talking to her'd help? I don't know. It's worth a shot, though. Right? Nah, there's no school in Sidonia. My mom says it's because everything's so packed together, there's no room for it. But also, there's almost no kids here either, so it doesn't make sense to have one. Instead, we learn remotely. It's cool, I guess, but it'd be cooler if I got to hang out with more kids my age. Like, my friend Renee is fun to hang out with and all, but I think she probably feels the same way. Having a real school would be nice. Later then.
Not a lot of work for someone like me around here, but it's okay. Ugh. Don't tell me my son Tai invited another stranger to come talk to me again, did he? That boy means well, but he's gonna drive me crazy someday. No, it's okay. I don't leave the condo much. It's nice to have another adult to speak with. My son means well, and I know he's just trying to look out for me. My husband, his father, isn't with us anymore. It's been hard ever since. Keith died in a mining accident a few years ago. It wrecked me. Here I was, stuck on Mars, suddenly alone with a young child. I still haven't really recovered from that. I don't really know what to do. Tai is good. He obviously misses his daddy, and he's bright enough to understand the situation we're in. He keeps talking about how he wants to get a job and help move me out of here. He's a good boy. I don't know what I'd do without him. I just hope he doesn't have to get a job in the mines. I couldn't stand the thought of losing 2 of my guys to the... Now? Nothing. I had originally been offered a job here at the That's not a week before I was due to start. It was never meant to be permanent anyway, but then when... I know he does. Thanks for the chat.
In order to avoid injuries, please report any spills or unsafe conditions on the upper level to the...
Easy to forget how marvelous life on other planets truly is. Have something for you.
Everything's so new.
Walter's Star Yard has single-handedly
If you need anything,
disrupted
just
the
ask.
market.
Well, let me see your
Got a
manifest.
vision, that's for sure.
We'll unload that from your ship right now.
I have something for you.
Shields are down. We got him, Captain.
Target has fixed their ship. Have their ship. Just trying to
Every ecosystem has its own unique challenges. Hostilities that life conquered to just exist.
about wearing a suit? Internal air cycling. I've been to worlds that smelled like rotten eggs covered in burnt hair and, worse. Might want this. kind of planet may seem inhospitable, but it's just ready for some real estate developer to come in here and turn the place into a classy resort. Aha! That's handy.
I have something for you.
Star parcel freighter to unknown vessel. I have an urgent package, hoping for some assistance. Ship's engine is fried. Please? The Star Parcels fleet's got a load of these aging Deimos monsters. Built like tanks, but well past their warranty. It's gonna take hours to fix this, if we can get the engine back online at all. Star Parcel always puts a bounty on anyone that messes with us. Always. I got a hot package that's paid for expedited delivery. They'll dock my pay if it doesn't get to its destination. Star Parcel will reward you well if you can assist. Ah, excellent. All you need to do is drop this off to the ship service. They'll take it from there. Thanks for bailing me out.
Hey, you might want this.
Hey, you should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. You the courier? I've been expecting you. Star Parcel has your payment right here. Anything else you need?
I have something for you.
Ready for touchdown.
Hello, excellent to see you.
I'm up for a little... adventure.
Ah, you're awake.
might want this.
Captain! Over here. The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy, perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. It's hard to know exactly what might sway them. I'd just be honest about what you saw. A colony wiped out, and a lot of lives lost. Something we don't want anyone else to have to experience. I strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Howdy.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor. That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
It's a risk, but so is doing nothing.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I. Well, I am not. I've heard nothing here to convince me that we should do anything but wait. And I will not risk galactic peace on a question of if.
Yes, a fair assessment, Chief Diplomat. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think we can safely say it's insufficient for the level of action you've requested. Perhaps once we've... What was that?
Exploring the galaxy is hard work. Trust me, I know. We'll stop by sometime and let's talk.
Incident. Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
Okay?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
You know, I needed this. Exploring the galaxy with you by day, investigating the mysterious legal woes of my long-dead spouse by night. Vasco never appreciated my humor that much. I was just remembering how I told him all about Irvin. Sure, folks from the lodge, but traveling with you has been... Oh, we got to point B many times just fine. Top-notch co-pilot. Anyway, I'm glad you're here right now because we have things I heard back from my contact. They looked into Hephaestus Mining Corporation. Looks like they paid off. And that's not all. My contact really came through for us. Turns out the witness was threatened until he withdrew his testimony. And thanks to our contact, we now have the receipts. No, my contact does for now. I trust him. We worked together a long time ago. And it depends on what I want to do with all the proof, if anything. Bank transactions. A precise amount was transferred to the judge only the day before the ruling. My contact has an audio log with the identity of the speaker verified, time-stamped, everything. I tend to agree. It's interesting, but not enough to take it to a lawyer yet. So I know a cyber runner who has accessed corporate archives before. They can dig into the classified archives before we go to a lawyer. We can pay extra for them to use less legal methods to obtain information. That adds risk. I don't know. I guess that's a good question. I appreciate that, Captain. But I'll take care of any fines or bribes that come up from you. You have always been so supportive. Depending on what they find out, it might be time. Whew. Taking on Hephaestus isn't going to be easy. Maybe I should study up on the art of it. That's solid advice. Know your actual... Anyway, let's go it.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
That's it! Now hit him with everything you've got!
Done. You're okay, right?
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire. I honestly was just wondering, but no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a terror, so we'll just have to... I'm not suggesting. The result of the projection, though, can vary, and some lose control altogether. Those cases, you'll either... Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please. Do what you can to help them.
That was a weird noise.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
Order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up.
Don't just stand there. Good.
It's everything.
It's here! It's here! Do it now! You've lost. You're never gonna win. They always win.
They're going to turn on you. Kill them. Kill them first. You can't beat it. It's too strong. Give up now.
All yours.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts. Your call. We're on the line.
This was damn heroic, Captain.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Those creatures killed UC citizens.
Captain?
They're not
Hadrian?
killing anymore.
It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the Cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you. We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property, and there's also a credit disbursement when you first, but above all, you'd become... I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. We're dismissed.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.